Good morning. A tough one for your team at home on Saturday against a really good Monmouth team. Come up a little short, 35-7. Just kind of give me your impressions on the game.
Mom's a good football team. They run the ball well. We knew they're going to run the ball well. It's kind of tough when you know it and still can't stop it. It felt at times we played really well. It felt at times we played really bad. I think the most disappointing part about Saturday was it felt like we um, didn't compete to our standards sometimes. But we're going to get up, dust ourselves off, and jump on the road to Albany this week.
Game was 7-7 there early in the second quarter after Tunday's interception, um, but at least offensively unable to really get a lot going. What did they do on defense to kind of slow you down?
Well, I think they were there. What I mean by that is they were there, but when we dropped 7, 8 balls, that's going to hurt you. We're just simply not explosive enough on offense right now. We're getting better every week, but we're just not there right now where we can afford those miscues. When we put the ball in the hands, we got to catch the darn thing, and those would have extended drives, would have taken drives away from them, and it just all adds up at the end of the day.
That offense we talked about last week and people have talked about on this call all year long is number one in the country and all the weapons that they've had. What now that you've faced them for 60 minutes, what makes them so tough to stop?
Um, I think 20 is special. The tailback is definitely special. I think they do just enough to threaten you on the perimeter. As an offense, they find different and creative ways to get the ball out in space to some talented receivers. And I thought Saturday they did a really good job of I'll be honest with you, our game plan was to force the quarterback to beat us. And they found some creative ways they haven't shown this year to get the ball to their playmakers in space. And their quarterback did a good job. We felt first half we did a decent job with the downfield passing game, picking off the first two passes there. And But again, hats off to them. They schemed it up pretty well, and we have to learn from it because I think we'll see it again.
Yeah, talk about the defensive start. Liam Lindo and Tunde also with had two pickoffs there in the first quarter. Talk about the plays that they made, and Tunde's looked like it was going to be a pick six before the penalty. What were they able to do well to kind of jump those routes?
Well, I think those two get better and better every week. Tunde had a big interception for us, last week in the end zone against Rhode Island. He followed it up with a big one Saturday. He's getting more and more comfortable. Just his ability to trigger quickly and recognize. There's some things that we saw pre-snap that kind of indicated that's what we were going to expect. And both those kids made great jumps on the ball. I think if Liam could have kept his balance, we could have had two there. Another touchdown on Liam's case. So those two kids just get better and better each week and add they add to our defense who's playing better this year. Record might not show it, but I think Saturday going into the game we were still the conference top rush defense. After playing Monmouth, we're fourth now, but still I think we're much improved there, and having some corners who can play is a big benefit.
Offensively, you mentioned the drops, but Jaden was able to throw for 167 yards, wasn't picked off, and was able to hit Kobe Keenan with that touchdown pass. Talk about again how he's continues to progress, and then maybe the play that Kobe Keenan made, 4 catches for 40 yards on the day.
Yeah, sure. Kobe's big target, 6'7". He's kind of a dangerous target for us down there 2 weeks in a row at the goal line, about 10 yards out. Same type of play that we had run, and he made a very acrobatic catch for us to keep a drive extended. Kobe's a tight end pass threat for us, and I think those two have kind of grown a pretty good connection between them two. I think Jaden knows all he has to do is throw the ball above 6 feet, and Kobe's kind of a great shot to come down with it. And again, the clock is getting quicker and quicker for Jaden as he continues to play more.
It would seem that the Monmouth focus was trying to slow down Elijah Elliott, and your running game only with 59 yards in the game. What were they able to do to kind of contain your running attack?
It was a numbers game. They were able to always put one more in the box than we could account for, and our answer to that had to be the one-on-one matchups that we had on the outside and throwing the ball down the field. And that's where the drops really hurt us, because when we got into open space and we were able to continue drives and got the ball down the field, bang off, a couple pair of hands, and next thing you know, it's 2nd and 10, or it's we didn't convert the third down. So those are the things we've got to do this week. I felt as a program, we talked about not turning the football over, and we really focused on trying to win the turnover battle this week. And while we did that, the scoreboard, told us some other stories too. So
let's look ahead to Saturday. Your team heads out on the road against you Albany team that's also had some challenges this season. As you've started to break them down, what are some of the challenges that they present for you?
It's kind of like looking at us a little bit, when you look at them play. I know they've gone through some injuries and some banged up different play at the quarterback position. But Albany is still, they're big up front, no doubt about it. They've got a couple talented tight ends on offense. I know that they'll probably live in a lot of 12 personnel and find different ways to run the ball there. Defensively, I think these are probably some of the better corners that we've seen in the last couple of weeks. Just looking at initial glance. But again, we're going to have to, we expect them to load the box. We expect every team we play from here on out to put an extra hat in the box, and we've got to have answers for that.
What's been the message to your team? Obviously, the season got off to a strong start, and you've battled some injuries here down the stretch. How do you regain the momentum and try to be able to finish this season strong?
And Rob, I wish I knew that answer. All we can do is we stay positive. We build off the positive things. At the end of the day, we have to focus on getting better every week, regardless of what the scoreboard says. We focus on three things in this program week in, week out, and that's the turnover battle, the explosive battle, and the missed tackle battle. And we simply have to be better in those three areas if we're going to expect to be successful in this conference. And it seems like we take one step in one area one week and a step back in another. But the thing about this group that I love is they will compete. They'll put their toe up on the line, and you might not always win on the scoreboard, but the other side knows they were just in a ball game, and we have to continue. That's a positive we're going to continue to build off of.
All right, Chris, thanks so much for joining.